Evan Carter with us right here on 105 Through the Fan. You're working on the daily crossword puzzle. Jack Leiter said that he has offered Josh Smith help in the past, and Josh like, no. Do you ever take help from your teammates on the crossword or Sudoku?
No, definitely not. Especially not from Smitty or Jack. No, I'm not normally a crossword guy right now. I'm just kind of trying to fill some time. I'm a big Sudoku guy, or however you want to pronounce it. That's kind of my jam.
Is there another way people pronounce it?
I don't know. Is there Sudoku?
I don't think so. I always say Sudoku.
That's correct. Okay. All right.
I was going to make sure I wouldn't say it.
Okay, there we go.
He's like, yeah, complete. I just did everything by getting that right.
Okay.
There we go.
All right. How are you? Are you feeling better? I know it's just an illness and everything.
So does that mean you're a math guy?
A math guy?
Yeah, do you like math a lot? Because my brother's a huge math guy.
I love numbers.
I like math. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I'm just like, he said he didn't love the crossword. He likes the Sudoku more.
Yeah, I would rather do that than English stuff for sure, yeah.
Did you feel like he was trying to math shame us just a little bit?
No, I don't think so. I wouldn't say that.
Okay, good.
Okay, now you can ask your other question. I had to follow.
I know, it's just an illness, but feeling better. Good to go?
Yeah, I'm going to, still a little bit under the weather today, just kind of sluggish feeling a little bit, but I'm going to try and get some at-bats in the back game today. It's been a couple of days since I've hit, so hopefully going to be 100% tomorrow.
For people who maybe they've never been to spring training, or even if they have, they're not familiar with that world, can you kind of walk us through what can happen and what can get done on those backfields?
Yeah, I mean, it's no different than, an actual game. I guess stats just don't count. I mean, I'm still going to, I think there's a couple big league guys pitching, and, I'm not playing defense or anything, so I'll be able to get live at bats and run the bases if I feel like it, doing some stuff like that, just in a setting with, without stats mattering, I guess. So it's no different, yeah.
Is that a good place sometimes? Well, we feel like we've seen some fans be able to, get some autographs here and there, sometimes with easier access at spring training, and then sometimes just watching the players go home and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that spring training is a great time to kind of get to know the fans a little bit. I know walking around and stuff, and then, especially with the ballpark in Texas, we're not necessarily able to sign for people at the fence or anything. Right. So it's nice at this stadium to be able to walk past everybody and kind of sign for kids and stuff. It's good.
I've always wondered that. Is it tough when you're signing autographs because you always have to have a cutoff point, no matter what, and there's always going to be that person who is the next person. Do you ever look back up? Do you ever feel bad? Because I know you have to stop at some point.
Yeah, I always just try and end on. Well, I mostly try and sign for kids. I'll try and end on if I'm getting close to a group of adults or something. I'll be like, all right, I'm last one right here, and then they'll always say something, try and make it dramatic or whatever. But it is what it is. At the end of the day, I can't. We're here to play a game, and I can't stand there and sign for a ton of people.
Yeah, for me, I always just tell people, I'm like, these are the last two. Y'all need to just cut it off right here. Just let them know.
When you're signing
for absolutely.
Who knew?
Long lines. Yeah.
How cool is it to see those kids who are they already look up to you, and they're like, oh my gosh, that's a huge, meaningful moment for them.
Yeah, I mean, I know when I was going to minor league games when I was little, it's a huge deal getting to, at the end of the day too, they may not even know who I am, but it's a big league baseball player, right. So it's this is so cool, and I know how I felt when I was in their shoes not too long ago, so I want to return the favor, try and make their day or whatever it is that it looks like.
When you were growing up, minor league ball was in your area, right? It's predominantly in that area.
Yeah, it's not anymore, but we had the Appy League there, so it was, I guess, short season baseball there for a while. It's like a woodbat college league now. But yeah, we had the Twins and Elizabethton and the Cardinals and the Mets were in Kingsport, all in that area. Yeah.
But don't say Elizabethtown, because that makes you sound foolish, right?
No, yeah, Elizabethton. Yeah, Elizabethton.
Okay, I want to make sure. Yeah. What have been your thoughts about, doing a little bit of left field and center field in spring training? I know you got to prepare for all possibilities. What have you thought about that?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I think that, we're going to pride ourselves in being able to play any of them. I think right now we're getting a lot of reps, or I'm getting a lot of reps in left because I haven't played there since May of 2024, and then Wyatt's, obviously probably got a little bit more experience doing both back and forth just because he played center a lot last year and left. So, I think that either one of us are comfortable in both spots, and whatever keeps us on the field is going to be ideal.
And I want to get back to that, but what are the logistical differences for you personally, just playing left field versus center field?
Yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, the reads off the bat are a little bit different. The decision making's quicker in left. A lot more hooked line drives from, pull side guys. You're kind of just playing more towards the line a lot of the time, but you don't necessarily cover as much ground. It's one of of those things that, a low percentage catch in left field might be something where you only take a few steps versus in center field, a low percentage catch is I just made a 40-yard run in the gap and caught a ball. So it's just different. The workload in center is definitely a lot bigger just because you run so much more.
Yeah.
You got both gaps and all that. So
would it be just a bigger scale at all of like some of the challenges of third base versus shortstop then when you were talking about the quick reaction time in left field?
Yeah, you don't, I personally think left field's the harder position to play just because the reads are so much more difficult, but that could just be biased for me not playing it as much.
But does the ball hook a little differently?
A lot, yeah. Everything in center is pretty straightforward unless there's like a knuckleball that is like, do I need to go for it? Play back. That's really the hardest read you get in center. But in left, it's like, all right, this dude just hooked one 110 at me. Like, can I go for it? If I go for it, if I miss it, I'm the only one over here. Like, it's a little bit more difficult.
What's that split-second feeling when you do go for it and you realize, I have
you better turn into a goalie really quick. You better try and body it up. Yeah.
Now, you talked about it, and it's something Skip said when we talked with him on Monday, is whatever it takes to get the guys able to play 162. Is that, I'm sure you go into every season thinking, let's play 162, but how important is that position versatility to be able to keep you out on the field wherever?
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, actually playing 162 versus being available for 162 is two different things. I think for me and the type of player I am right now, it might be unrealistic to say I'm going to play 162 games this year, but maybe I want to stay off the IL and be available for 162. That's a different story, and that's kind of my goal this year. And if they feel strongly that playing left and center, back and forth is going to be beneficial for both of us. Obviously, I've had way more injuries than Wyatt has, but at the same time, he's had some stuff too. So, keeping him on the field, and then obviously, me trying to keep myself healthy as well. If that is a solution that we find, then we're all for it.
Robbing one off the wall or head first dive to steal something, what could be a double or triple? Which one do you prefer? Which one gives you the most juice?
I think robbing a ball is definitely the most juice. Diving plays are, a lot more common, I feel like, and I don't know. I feel like that's not nearly as cool as trying to climb a wall and catching one. Yeah.
Now, my co-host during the World Series did criticize you a lot.
Okay, that's not true.
You jumped too early. We've actually had a talk about this. Do you still hold that against him?
Yeah.
Or
which ball? You told me at the time you were learning the park. It was you made an amazing catch against the wall, and I go, I don't know if he needed to jump.
I jumped way too early. Yeah, I wasn't even at the wall. Yeah. No, I remember that.
Definitely not mass criticism. All I said was, it was a great catch. I don't know if he needed that jump right there. Okay.
He was already in great position. Nice work.
Now, you talked about availability versus actually playing the 162. Do you have an internal goal? Are you thinking like, man, I really think I could play 130, or is that a thing that you think of?
No, at the end of the day, I don't know how the lineup shakes out. I'm not going to sit here and say that I am going to be in the lineup every single day. I don't know what that's going to look like, but all I can control is being available. So if I'm available and doing everything I can do to perform on the field, then however many games I get in there, I can't really put like a number of this is how many I want to be this year.
Yeah. How do you feel like you've advanced in terms of, I know, might not be your favorite question, but against left-handed pitchers?
Yeah, I feel like the spring's been really, really good. I've hit actually my hardest ball I've ever hit off a lefty, or off of any pitcher for that matter, off of a lefty this spring. So that was pretty cool.
What was the exit velo? Do you know?
Like
164.
Yeah. I think it was 111.
Wow. Okay.
So I wasn't out, so who cares? But at the end of the day, that's going to be one of those things. The Twitter guys like, he still got out. Like, well, that is what it is.
Yeah.
But no, I feel like my at bats have been very competitive against that. That's all I can control at the end of the day.
The competitive at bats, I think it's fun for a guy like me. I love watching the way you stand there and you'll be like, it's not my pitch. It says the strike zone's not big enough for me yet on whatever count you're at, and the way you do that. Is it difficult to be that patient? And do you realize how much you're frustrating the dude on the mound?
No, I think that at the end of the day, it's one of those things that it's kind of a fine line of being patient, but then also when they give you a pitch to hit, you better be ready to go. And so that's that line that you're always kind of trying to balance between of like, I don't want to chase and I don't want to swing at the bull crap, but at the same time, if you put something down the middle, I better be ready to go.
Right.
And punish those. And, that's how people like, Soto or Seager, whoever walk so much is because whenever they come in the zone, it's getting punished. So they get scared out of the zone and then they don't chase. So, that's a good combination to have right there.
Did you ever get feedback from umps when you would do the kind of look back at them like, that was a strike, huh?
No,
You're incorrect.
I actually have gotten told by several of my teammates that I need to not do that. Especially like the shaking my head and stuff. And I'm not even shaking my head at the umpires. It's more of like self-affirmation for me of like, nah, that's a ball. And I'm just telling myself that. But then umpires take it of like, what are you just telling me that I'm not doing? And
They're sassy.
Yeah, I don't even, most of the time I don't even realize the umpires are there. I'm just kind of doing my own thing. So it is what it is.
How important is that? Because we talked with Josh Smith again yesterday about it, and he talked about, I know people think it's the physical part, but it's the mental part of getting through the season. How huge is the mental part on an at-bat basis and on a whole picture basis?
Yeah, I mean, I think, having confidence for a full season is definitely a skill set for people that is important to have. I mean, I know there's a lot of guys in here when you feel like you're confident going up into the at-bat, you're already an advantage versus if you're not confident going up there. The roller coaster of a season, you can't play good every single day or else you're going to be a Hall of Famer. So, I mean, at the end of the day, that's not a lot of us in here, but it's just, it's really hard. I mean, I feel like even physically sometimes if I'm not feeling the best, it's a mental battle of like, how do I get past this and how do I still perform? Because at the end of the day, nobody really cares if you feel good or not. You just got to go out there and perform. So,
how do you get past it? Or what has been the formula so far?
Yeah, just a lot of positive self-talk. I try to, and that's the stuff that you see me up there shaking my head. Like I'm just kind of always trying to have an internal conversation with myself and a lot of positive self-talk. And I feel like you can talk yourself into believing a lot of stuff, whether it's true or not. So I'm trying to go down that route.
I like that because we talk so much mental health on our show, and like we're always kind of trying to chip in and see how other people approach it. I like that take on it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it goes both ways. I think that if you hear a lot of negativity around you too, or read it or whatever, that creeps in very quickly as well. So that's been my big thing with lefties is having a whole lot of voices around me telling me how crappy I am at it versus me trying to do the opposite and tell myself that I am. It's always a constant battle.
Do you ever find your way like seeking out or getting the feedback from people who are like, man, I want you to be awesome? Like, I know it's not, you talked about the 111, but it was an out. Those people who are supportive, those Rangers fans who are like, no, man, you got it. Like, next at bat, we got it.
Yeah, I think as a baseball player, I think if you're trying to find confidence and support from anybody but your own self, it's really hard to rely on that because nobody's ever going to be as consistent in that positivity as you can be for yourself. Or maybe, like
with you.
Exactly. Like at the end of the day, I don't have somebody up there every at bat telling me like, you're going to do great, you're going to do good. Like it is, it's that's just not going to be there. I mean, you're not going to find it from outside noise. You got to be able to find it for yourself.
Have you taken the time for yourself to enjoy the victories when you get them, whether they're personal, team, or whatever?
I'm trying to get better at that.
Aren't we all, right?
Too. Yeah.
Me too,
Yeah, I'm pretty at fault of even when things do go good, I could have done this better, that better. So trying to find the small victories is definitely an important thing.